there's something devastating about his final choice. But the thing that I think, as interesting as this is, I think he learned a little something, or at least he was kicked in the right direction, because Delilah's like, I have some stuff to finish in Casper. I'll if I head down south, maybe I'll swing by. You know, something about like this fantasy that he was trying to run into is pulled from him.
Yeah.
And that, look, yeah, I mean, he made shitty choices, but that's life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, again, and this is the thing that I'm always like, why, as an audience member, do people have to disassociate and be like, we as an audience are being asked to do this? It's like, you're not being asked to do anything. You're expecting it because you're going in with that lens. Whereas, if you go into something pure, then what the authors are saying, what I think the authors are saying is they're really looking at the idea of running away from stuff. To this job that is so interesting. You live in a studio apartment on top of a mountain and you watch for fires. That's craziness. Mm-hmm. And there's something so beautifully archaic about it too. So I think that's going in and saying, I want to watch this character make a journey, and the writers, and if the writer's intention isn't that, and you don't pick up on whatever their intention was, then yeah, they didn't do the thing that you wanted them to do. That's why that question is so fraught. For me, it's such a landmine to ask, because
in my question, I'm implying that everyone must have the same experience as well.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And on top of that, like, email the authors.
Yeah,
I mean, but that's not the point. That's not writing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And also, if they had set it up in a way where you were like, this is what... If they had set it up in a way where they were like, framing Henry as this down-and-out sort of person and everything, it's like, no, his wife has dementia. It's impossible to take care of her. It's... whatever, he ran away from it, and guess what? In a summer out in the woods dealing with random conspiracies, he's not getting better. And that's devastating. And people run from their problems, and the only person who might make a change is Delilah. And even then, honestly, with the way that was going, and the fact that the whole thing was, we're not going to give you answers, is... Henry might make a better decision when he goes back home and goes, oh, fuck, that wasn't like a good idea or anything, or maybe that was stupid or whatever. But I think putting an expectation on a game is really difficult. And it's really treacherous. Because not all stories do the same thing. I mean, it's like not all musicals do the same thing. Sorry, I write musicals. And not all musicals do the same thing. There are things that are spectacle, and there are things that are, you know, there's Cats, and then there's Fun Home. There's, what's a really big spectacle? I mean, there's fucking King Kong on Broadway right now. Whatever. One of my friends is the music director for it, and I appreciate the fact that he has work.
Yeah.
Well, he came off of Christmas Story and went right to that, so that was cool.
I don't disagree with anything that you're saying.
You just wanted to care about him, and you don't.
There's a great, like, something I remember learning in school was like, and I think part of it isn't that Harold Bloom book. There's a great book by Harold Bloom that takes every Shakespeare play and analyzes it under this thesis of everything we've learned about being human, we've learned from Shakespeare, because by seeing that on the stage, we relearned what it was to be human. The book is called The Invention of the Human, and it's absolutely stunning. But something that I remember learning, especially about theater, is when we see something on the stage, we want to see characters and wish that we would do the same thing, or know immediately that we would never do those things, and we can live vicariously through them. Mm-hmm. Either way, living vicariously through them.
ask a question?
Yeah.
Why is it that when he makes a bad choice, or a choice that you don't agree with or something, why is your reaction to not like him as opposed to feel bad that he's a tragic, flawed person? Doesn't mean you have to like him, but why is your angle anger and not disappointment and sadness? Because mine throughout the whole thing was sort of like, I wish I honestly, there were a couple times that I was like, I wish I had better options than the ones that they've given me
And
here.
I think I was just about to say it's such a crazy experience because I'm very new to gaming in general, obviously. Everything I've ever played, I've not really played. I've watched you play, and I do wonder if I feel more angry about this because gaming is very specifically about making choices and being able to run through worlds and collect shit and move, or the illusion of choice. Like, you eventually, like, you do what the writers want you to do.
So
but
anyone who knows the problem with the end of Mass Effect 3, Christ, I told you about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that with video games it is very specific, and I am angry because I am always like, this is not the fucking choice I would have made. And again, what I've been saying is, I said at the beginning of this game, go back and see Julia, and he, like, the fact that someone at the end is like, you should see Julia, I'm like, I've been saying this.
Yes, but you're not in the game.
But I'm not in the game, and this is an experience that is so much more, you are in control of your character, which is the best part about gaming. It is why people play video games. But
also to, like, rack up a body count. Also that.
Yeah. At this point, I feel like we're kind of spinning our wheels around the same.
Yeah, but you know what? Actually, I'll zoom out and I'll pull a newsroom-esque, what's his face? Yeah, it's great to see democracy at work line. This game had us talking passionately for an hour about it.
Yeah.
That's effective.
If anyone is curious, when Peter and I first finished playing Bioshock Infinite the first time, we weren't even on the same coast. He was playing it via private